You hatch from an egg, somewhere in the forests of South Asia, with two siblings breaking out of their shells beside you. Your legs are unsteady and the ground is uneven, so every few steps one of them folds and you go down with your chest hitting the dirt. But you push back up and try again, and after a while your legs start to hold. Your mother stays close, moving around the edge of the nest with her wings pulled in tight. Then a jungle crow lands a few meters away and walks toward you with its head tilting to one side. Your mother steps between it and the nest and spreads her wings out wide, making herself as large as she can. The crow hops to the left, trying to find a gap, then hops to the right, but she turns with it every time, so eventually it lifts off and goes. A few hours later, your mother leads the three of you down to a narrow stream nearby to drink. While she's at the water's edge, a monitor lizard comes out of the undergrowth low and fast with its body close to the ground. You and your siblings scatter in different directions. You push into the base of a bush and press yourself against the roots with your legs pulled underneath you. Your remaining sibling runs the other way. The lizard takes them before your mother can turn around. She calls out, and you come out from under the bush and follow her back into the trees. You're only a few hours old, and already one of your siblings is gone, but your mother is still here, and as long as you stay close to her, the forest has less of a chance to get you. That won't last forever, though. At some point, you'll have to face it on your own. You're 3 weeks old now, and your mother still leads you through the trees every day, but the forest keeps finding ways to get between you. Your remaining sibling is gone too, taken 2 days ago while you were both feeding apart from each other, so now it's just you and her. You've started picking up your own food, working through the leaf litter with your beak and pulling out beetles, seeds, and small bugs wherever you can find them. But one afternoon, you follow a line of beetles further than you mean to, and by the time you look up, the trees are behind you and you're standing in an open clearing with nothing above you but open sky. A hawk circles once overhead with its wings held flat and wide. You go still. It circles again, dropping a little lower, and then it pulls its wings in and drops. You need to get back to the tree line, so you run as fast as your legs will carry you with your small wings pushing out to the sides to help you move faster. The hawk hits the ground just behind you as you push into the undergrowth, and you press yourself flat against the roots and stay there until it goes. When you make it back to where your mother is, your legs are still shaking. But you're back under the trees, and the hawk is gone. That clearing taught you something important. Out in the open, anything above you can see you before you see it, and by the time you notice, it's already too late. From now on, you stick to the trees, but you're growing fast, and soon the forest will start to feel smaller, and with that, new problems will come. You're 4 months old now, and your mother has merged her group with a small group of other peahens and their young, so your days are spent moving through the undergrowth with a dozen others around you. The tail feathers that will one day define you are starting to come in, but right now they're short, dull, and uneven, so you look nothing like the adult males you sometimes see moving through the trees at the edge of the group. You're not the biggest of the young males either, and when you all reach a patch of food at the same time, the larger ones push in first and take what they want, so you work the edges and pick up whatever is left. It's enough to keep you going, but only just. Then one afternoon, a mongoose pushes its way into the group from under a fallen log with its body low to the ground and its eyes fixed on the nearest chick. The group scatters in every direction, but the chick it's going for happens to be right beside you and there's no time to run. So you jump sideways and land on the mongoose's back for a moment with your feet pushing down against it and your wings out for balance. It throws you off straight away and you hit the ground hard, but the impact is enough to break its focus, so it pulls back under the log and goes. The rest of the group comes back one by one and everything settles. You held your ground when something smaller ran, and it worked. That's a new piece of information. Your tail feathers are still coming in, and they won't be full for a long time yet, but the mating season is coming, and when it does, you'll need a lot more than just feathers to compete with the males that have already been through it. Skip forward a bit, and you're 2 years old now. For the first time, you've grown a full train, and it drags behind you across the ground, with the long feathers catching on roots and low branches as you walk. You haven't learned how to carry it properly yet, so moving through the trees takes longer than it used to, and costs you more energy than it should. There's an open area at the edge of the forest where 3 other males have been displaying, and all of them have been through at least one mating season already. You move into the clearing and spread your train for the first time in front of a group of peahens standing nearby. But the left side of the fan doesn't open fully, so the whole display sits uneven, with one half higher than the other. The peahens watch for a moment, then turn and walk away without stopping. Then one of the older males moves into the space you just left. He opens his train cleanly with both sides fanning out wide and even, and holds the position with his feathers fully up. The peahens stop, turn around, and walk back toward him. You pull your train closed and move back into the trees. You lost the ground and you lost the display, but you stayed long enough to watch everything he did, the angle he held his body, the way he kept the fan steady, and the position he chose in the clearing. You've stored all of it. Your train will shed at the end of this season and grow back fuller next year, and when it does, you'll know exactly what to do with it. The clearing will still be there, and so will the older males, but next season, they won't find it as easy to push you out. You're 3 years old now, and your train has filled out over the dry season with both sides fanning evenly and the feathers coming coming in longer than last year. You've also found a better position. There's a low ridge at the edge of the trees, where the ground rises just enough to put you above everything around it. So when you open your train up there, the hens below can see the full fan from a distance. You've claimed it before any of the other males get there each day, and you hold it. But one of the older males has been working the same ridge for 2 seasons, and one morning he walks straight into your spot before the hens arrive with his body low and his eyes fixed on you. You need to hold the position so you don't move back. Instead, you spread your train wide and hold the fan fully open with your body turned toward the group of hens gathering below the ridge. He opens his own train and steps forward, trying to close the gap between you. You hold still with your feathers fully up, not giving him the angle he needs. The hens start moving up the slope, and one of them stops in front of you. The older male shakes his feathers hard and takes another step forward, trying to pull her attention back to him, but she stays in front of you, and the others follow her up. He closes his train and walks off the ridge. That's your first real win. The clearing is yours, the hens chose you, and the older male left without a fight. But holding the ridge for 1 season and holding it for many are 2 very different things. The same males will come back next year with more experience, and new ones will come too. And one of them will eventually be willing to do more than just stand there. You're 4 years old now, and the mating season is close again. You've been moving through the dense scrub at the edge of your territory when your train catches in a thorn thicket, with several long feathers snagging deep into the branches. You pull forward to free yourself, but the resistance is too strong, so you pull harder, and 3 of the long central feathers tear away at the base before you come loose. You open your train to check the damage, and the gap in the center of the fan is wide and obvious. The display is broken right through the middle where the hens look first. Over the next few days, you try anyway, taking your position on the ridge and opening the fan in front of the groups that come up the slope. But the hens stop, look at the gap, and walk away each time. The younger males with complete trains take every position on the ridge while you hold the edges and watch. It's the longest the season has ever felt. But here's the thing about peacocks. They shed their entire train at the end of every mating season and grow a completely new one before the next. The torn feathers are already gone, and when the new ones come in over the following months, they grow back longer and more evenly spaced than the ones before. That's what happens when a peacock is in good condition. Each year the train gets better, not worse. By the time the next season arrives, you take the ridge back and hold it longer than the previous year. The gap is gone, and the new fan is the widest you've ever had. You've learned that one bad season doesn't end anything. But the ridge has drawn attention, and not just from the males you already know. New ones are starting to move into the area, and some of them are younger and faster than the ones you've already beaten. Skip forward a bit, and you're 7 years old now. Your train is at its longest, with the eye spots sitting wide and evenly spaced across the full fan, and you've held the ridge through every mating season since you first took it. The younger males circle the edges of your territory each day, but none of them have pushed directly onto the ridge in a long time. Then one morning, you come back from feeding to find a 4-year-old already standing at the top of the ridge with his fan open toward a group of hens below. He's younger than you, and his train is shorter, but his display is wide, and he holds it steady with his body turned at the right angle to catch the full attention of the hens on the slope. You need the ridge back, so you walk straight up toward him with your train still closed. He opens his fan wider, trying to use the display to hold his ground without moving. You stop a few body lengths away, and then open your own train fully, spreading every feather out to its full width and holding the position right in front of him. The 2 fans face each other across the top of the ridge, and the hens below stop and watch. He holds for a moment with his feathers up and his body still. Then he takes 1 step back, then another. Then he closes his train and drops off the back of the ridge entirely. You close your own fan and go back to feeding along the slope. You didn't need to touch him. The size of the fan was enough, and he knew it. But you also know that won't always be the case. There will be a day when a younger male stands his ground and keeps coming, and on that day, the ridge will belong to someone else. You're 11 years old now, and the ridge is still yours. Your train drags behind you as you move along the edge of your territory, working through the undergrowth with your head down and your beak pulling beetles and seeds out of the leaf litter. It's an ordinary day, the same stretch of forest you've walked hundreds of times before. Then a tiger comes out of the scrub on your left at full speed with its body low to the ground and its legs already fully extended. There's no warning and no pause. It's already close by the time you see it. You need to get off the ground, so you turn and run with your wings starting to open as your legs build speed across the uneven ground. But your train is long and heavy, and it pulls sideways as you try to lift, dragging across the roots and slowing the takeoff before you can clear the ground. You get your body up for a moment with your wings beating hard, but the tiger is already close enough to reach you, and it pulls you down by the train before your feet leave the ground completely. You hit the dirt with your wings still spread out wide on both sides. The tiger moves fast, and it's over in seconds. Your train, the one that held the ridge through 8 mating seasons and pushed back every male that came for it, spreads out across the leaf litter and goes still. The eye spots face upward, wide and perfectly formed, exactly as they were at the start of this morning. Somewhere above the ridge, a 4-year-old with a wide fan is already spreading his feathers across the top of the slope. He's been waiting for a gap. Now he has one.